From the Student Work tab in a classroom assignment, teachers can sort by which students have turned in or have only been assigned the assignment. They can click into any of the student files that are associated or attached to that assignment. On this main screen, students have over and the number of points for the assignment if they've turned it in. Teachers can enter grades there. You can also see if a student has left a private comment. Click on the student's name to read and respond to the private comment. Private comments can only be accessed by the individual student and the teacher. They are not accessible by any other students in the class. So this is a great way to have a conversation back and forth with students. Encourage students to use private comments to ask you questions. You can also use private comments to give students feedback on their work. Private comments can also be accessed and left from within the file inside of Google Classroom. Teachers can use the arrows at the top of the screen to scroll through students, or use the drop-down in order to switch from student to student. When viewing a student's file, teachers can use the toolbar at the top of the screen, or can open the file outside of Google Classroom. Teachers can use the commenting feature within the file to give students specific feedback about parts of their work. It's helpful that these comments highlight the exact part of the file that you're commenting on. And teachers have the ability to add frequently used comments to a comment bank, which allows teachers to easily reuse them later. We recommend the use of both comments within the file and private comments for different purposes. Students can reply to both, but they can only resolve comments within the file. This makes private comments ideal for letting students know that they need to resubmit their work and for grading explanations. Make sure that you return student work, especially if you want students to resubmit. This returns file ownership to the student. Students can view your private comments from the assignment in Google Classroom and will view the comments on files from within the file. Notifications, both email and push, can also be enabled. When work is returned, students have the ability to continue working and resubmit. Students also have the ability to unsubmit and continue working up until the due date for an assignment. By clicking into an individual student, teachers have the ability to see the history of that individual assignment. Grades can be entered and/or returned for an individual student from that student's assignment. They can be entered and then returned for multiple students at once from the assignment itself. From the Grades tab, teachers can also input grades and can return individual grades by clicking on the three dots next to an individual student's grade. You can return for an entire class by clicking on the three dots next to the assignment itself. Note that you can see draft next to several grades. This means that they have not been returned. Resubmissions and late work are labeled as well.